Alright, here's the home page on QuickBooks. I'm just going to go over some quick navigating here. On the left hand side, or it'll be here on the top, you're going to have your shortcuts. This gives you access to everything you need. Here's your item list, your customer center, and your vendor center. And start off with the item list. You're going to want to make sure it stays in hierarchy view. That's changes right here. Flat view, all flat. You've got hierarchy view. Two ways of searching. These are categories here, and then these are all items underneath it. So you can just click and type in, let's say, softener, for example, and it brings up softeners. The other way is going in here and actually typing it in, and it'll search and show it to you here. There we go, reset it. On to the next one, we've got our customer center. So again, you want to put that in hierarchy view. So you're going to right click here and click on hierarchical view. Moving forward here, same thing. Y'all are going to be using test, so you're just going to type in, just click here. Something's going to be highlighted, type in TST. Bring up test, and here's your two sub jobs. So this is your main header, and here's your two jobs. The only other thing here, we might use the vendor center, and again, this is just all of our vendors. This is where you're going to create purchase orders, etc. In our customer centers, I'm going to give you directions, but just real quick, let's put it back in the hierarchy. We're going to be doing a water treatment invoice and work order. So you're going to highlight here, and here's your managed transactions, your estimates, work orders, sales orders, and invoices. And that's how you'll use it. So here we're going to do a pre-invoice, start off, and you're going to do an estimate is actually what it is. And here at the top, you're going to switch it over to SWW pre-invoice, and here's where we do our actual invoicing. Samantha wanted me to go over kind of how to look up different things. So for example, if you want to look up an invoice, a sales receipt, a work order, also known as sales orders here, any of that, if you just hit Control F and go over here and click simple. So here you can type in, invoice, so then you look at the top right and there's the invoice number. So you just type in the invoice number, 338756, and then hit enter, and there it is. Another way to do that as well, let's say you're just looking for example, let's just say a pump install at Anadarko. It's here. So, and it's at the Brasada plant. So here you're under transactions. Let's say it's this year and you don't want to see anything other than this year. You change the date selection right here to this fiscal year, and now that's all you're looking at. Here you can see estimates, which is also pre-invoices. Those are actually better to look at than invoices, or you can change it, to sales order, invoices, etc. The other thing that's somewhat helpful here, let me see here, on the right-hand side, this is going to be the actual invoice number once we switch the estimate over to an invoice. And then whenever we're doing contract work, we'll put memos like this was a contract estimate for hydro seeding. So we'll put memos which go right here. That's kind of useful. What else do we have here? Additional contacts. Well, first of all, if you just want to look at the contacts, you just double click, and here's your information, contact information, and it's also right here. If you want to look at additional contacts, click right here. And notes, the only thing that's going to be going in the notes now is going to be directions and that kind of stuff, and I'll show you all how we're going to be doing that. We're not going to do Evernote training until next week, but I will kind of give you all a little snapshot of what that looks like. Alright, so we're going to start off here with the water treatment. So grab that work order, and you're going to click here. Let's change back to hierarchy. Right here, water treatment, estimate, switch over to pre-invoice. Alright, so you're going to start off here. You have to use the categories that I showed you before, whatever you're typing. So, for example, we're going to do work performed, and you'll fill that in. Whenever you're doing the parts, let's see here. One of them, for example, here is a filter. So you could do filter, and it brings up every single filter we have. Or if you want to be more specific, you could do 20 inch, and it would just bring up your 20 inch big blues. So that's how you do the searching. I've got an example of how it should look at the end. Once you have this completed, we're going to go ahead and print it. So right here at the top, you're going to go to print, Make sure it's TS Print and OS X. Go ahead and hit print. It's going to bring up the Mac operating system here. So you've got fill printer, which that's the correct one. Here's how you change your printer. And everything else you're good. Just change it to black and white here, as Teddy will have your ass. And go ahead and hit print. Now if you'll notice on the work order it says new work order will need to change RO filters on next visit. So let's go ahead and close out of here, and then you're going to create a work order. So make sure you're under water treatment. Go to manage transactions, sales order. Make sure you change the template to water treatment. Here you're going to type in CU, bring up custom, hit tab, and you're going to type in the details. So we'll need to change RO filters next visit. All right, from there you're going to go ahead and print this as well. So we're going to go print. Yes, we do want to save it. And you're going to do the same thing. Only thing that's different this time is you're going to have to change the feed from tray. So if you ever need to actually print a work order and you want to feed like the yellow paper in, you've got to change this to manual feed and go ahead and hit print. That's all. Note here, I'm just going to kind of go through this real quick, something that's going to be pretty useful for you guys. Here we've got our customer notebooks. So this is where all of our equipment list and notes like TDS, all that kind of good stuff, water meter readings are going to go. So for example, we've got Anadarko Brasada. We open up that notebook. There's all of our contact info. And then we've got, here's our water treatment equipment. So all this is broken down with the date installed. It has your part number, also has, so here's where it's at, the description, and then the date of last service. This will be going into effect immediately, so your equipment list will start looking like this versus what you've been seeing. Another kind of cool thing here, guys, once you've turned in a water sample, if you want to look at it, y'all are all connected to this, but so over here we've got water analysis. This is where we stick all of our water analysis, and it's got all of the contact information as well as the actual water analysis. So Evernote, that's going to be accessible on all you guys' phones as well as any computers, and this next week or the following week we'll do a training on Evernote. I just want to give you guys a little picture of it.
Okay. Oh, I take him back right after you suck on these little Chinese nuts.
Oh, that's nasty.
How'd that sound? So long, gay boys.